It's time for Life Science with Dr. Dean. Hey everybody, great to be here. I'm Dr. Dean, and welcome to Life Science with Dr. Dean. You don't have to say that every time. Yes, I do, Dean. Well, whatever. As I was saying, on today's episode of Life Science with Dr. Dean. Sorry. Okay. On today's episode of Life Science with Dr. Dean, we are going to be studying cells. Now, before we get started, I just want to tell you that these aren't prison cells or cell phones. Now, there are two different types of cells: plant and animal cells. You know, my friends always said I was a real animal. Yeah, we are all animals. Because we're mammals. Just because you have something called animal cells in your body doesn't automatically make you literally an animal. Okay? Yeah, I bet you're a real animal wearing that baby blue Snuggie all the time. It is dark blue and you know it. Gosh! Sorry about that. Our cells, you ask? Well, the basic meaning would be the fact that they are the building blocks of life, or that they are microscopic organelles that are in our bodies. They keep our body healthy and free of disease. They're kind of like cops, you know, taking over, protecting the body, you know, if you want a basic term like that. Yeah. Remember what I said before, how they're not like jail cells? Well, they actually are, because they were first discovered by Robert Hooke, who saw the first picture of a cell. He realized that they looked like tiny prison cells, so that's how they got their name, and always will be, cells. What makes these microscopic organelles so special? What makes them run? What's inside of them? I guess we'll never find out. Nah, just kidding. You see, cells contain many complex and interesting parts. So, let's get a closer look. This is a basic picture of a cell and all of its organelles. So, let's get started. You see this organelle? This is called the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is a membrane-bound structure with one membrane. It really is a stack of membrane-bound vesicles that are important in packaging certain molecules that transport throughout the cell. You know, I guess you could say it's kind of like the bank or the email. Look at these organelles. These are called rough endoplasmic reticulums. Rough endoplasmic reticulums look pebbled, but are actually covered in numerous ribosomes on its surface. Proteins are synthesized on these ribosomes and are collected in the endoplasmic reticulum for transport throughout the cell. Look at this organelle. It kind of looks like the rough endoplasmic reticulum, but is very smooth and not pebbled. That is because the smooth endoplasmic reticulum plays different roles depending on the specific cell type, including lipid and steroid hormone synthesis, breakdown of lipid-soluble toxins in liver cells, and control of calcium release in muscle cell contraction. I guess you could say that they're kind of like highways, you know, for the ribosomes to go like, hey, get out of the way! I got an appointment at the mitochondria in 10 minutes. Honk, honk, hint. Yeah, picture. Look at these organelles. These are called the mitochondria. The mitochondria provide the energy a cell needs to move, divide, produce secretory products, and contract. Basically, they are the power centers of the cell. You know, I guess you could say I'm kind of like the mitochondria, you know, boom, boom, firepower. Yeah. Let's get back to the picture. These circular organelles are called vacuoles. A vacuole is a membrane-bound sac that plays roles in intracellular digestion and the release of cellular waste products. You know, I'm not even going to have some silly comment for that one. These tiny organelles are called secretory vesicles. Secretory vesicles are used as packages to transport hormones and neurotransmitters from the Golgi apparatus throughout the cell. They don't look like packages. You see these organelles? These are called peroxisomes. These organelles are responsible for protecting the cell from the cell's own production of toxic hydrogen peroxide. So they protect the cell from what the cell makes. I don't get it. These organelles are called lysosomes. They contain hydraulic enzymes necessary for intracellular digestion, helping the vacuole. Oh, those tricky little lysosomes, always giving the vesicles so much trouble. Like a reality show. What am I talking about? This long wall around the cell is called the cell membrane. Every cell is enclosed in a membrane. It is responsible for letting in and out certain chemicals such as sodium, potassium, calcium, and chloride. You know, that always reminds me when in The Wizard of Oz, when they get to the city of Oz, and the gatekeeper's right there, he's like, "You shall not pass." You know, he's taking his little, the gatekeeper. It's funny. Oh, we're done. This organelle is called the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton is the bone of the cell, helping it to maintain cell shape and helping it in cell motility. The cytoskeleton is organized in a network of 3 primary protein filaments: microtubules, actin filaments, and intermittent fibers. Cytoskeletons, huh? They must have the best Halloween costumes ever. Look at these 2 organelles. Together, they are called the centrosome. The centrosome is an area in the cell where microtubules are produced. When the centrosomes divide, they connect to the nucleus on its opposite ends. Centrosome and nucleus sitting in an endoplasmic reticulum. D-I-V-I-D-I-N-G. Look at this green liquid. It is called the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the soup that contains proteins and water that help the cell and all of its organelles. You see the structure inside the nucleus? It is called the nucleus. The nucleus produces ribosomes, which move out of the nucleus and take positions on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, where they are critical in protein synthesis. Wow. That many ribosomes, huh? Must have really wanted that girl. And now it is time for the most important and best organelle, the nucleus. It controls and communicates with all of the organelles. It also contains the DNA responsible for providing the cell with its unique characteristics. Basically, it is the boss of the cell. Well, I guess that would be me, the big boss right here.
Huh, yeah, right.
Well, everybody, that's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week for the new episode of
Life Science with Dr. Dean.
What did I tell you about saying that?
What are you talking about? The viewers love it, so be quiet.
Yeah. Bye. I didn't even know I got educational television on here. Well, I better get started on that science project that's on cells that's due tomorrow.